My name is Lee. Gender vibes for today are fucking I don't know, so they them maybe. Like I'm wearing my MB flag binder and I'm wearing a shirt that specifically shows off my binder because I don't even know what today is. Like I'm late for the stream because I was antagonizing over boobs. Today's a weird day, so just they them vibes. He or she is fine. I'm pretty chill. What else? Liquid is important, or you'll end up like a shriveled prune, which is not good. Right. So what we're gonna do is set up my usual. Okay, first do this. Secondly, it stopped working. Figures. Yeah, it continuously stops working. It's fine. We're gonna go to the Greyhawk wiki, and then I'm gonna bring it up on the screen like you do, and then we're gonna add a thingy. Yeah. Should I add? I'm gonna try something. We're gonna try something, okay? It's gonna be a little new. It's an experiment on stream. When we're already 6 minutes late for the stream, that's gonna be fun. And then we're gonna do the thing where we. Okay, and I'm not gonna scratch my ears because it's not gonna help them get any less itchy. It's not actually gonna help. Cancel. Okay. That is not what I want. Let me go with that. Actually, let me try something else with that. No, I feel like that's for an updating web page, so it shows a single page, and we don't want a single page. What we want is to show me, because if I show you a single page, which is cool, A, I can't, like, move it, and B, showing you a single page is not, I think we've established this is not the way to do it. Let's see. Yeah, we want a window capture. Oh, no, I don't. Hang on. I need to open the window first. I need to go to the, actually have the wiki open before I do any of that. Yes, now what I do is, also I should turn the microphone so that it's facing me because I'm here. I'm the one you're listening to. That would probably be helpful, honestly. Have my liquid. Sorry, my mic. No itching the ear. Hi! Oh, cool. I have the best viewers, honestly. But welcome to the stream. I have plenty of viewers. I mean, I'd like more, but they'll find me eventually. I just gotta keep vibing. Don't worry too much about it. But I appreciate the advice. Come and hang with us, by the way. You are welcome to hang. I have no objection to you being here. Oh yes. Boom, 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 ba boom, boom, ba boom. What am I doing? We are going to. I'll spell it with 2 M's today. We're feeling feisty. Yes, this one. That is what we're doing. We'll just do automatic. Because for Zoom it gets feisty, but a little bit. Shrink it a little bit so you can still see my beautiful face. Sorry, my face is not exactly gorgeous, but here we go. Yeah, that should be sufficient. That's Ulick. Gryrax. I always start with Gryrax because, reasons. So first we open this up. And then we go and do this. And we do this because Anna B. Myers is awesome, and we need So this is 576 Flynn. Whoa, 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 careful. Yep. Okay, we're zooming in. This is the Flynn S. This is the, this is what we're dealing with. Just an overall view. For now, we'll zoom in when we know where we're zooming in to. Actually, why don't we zoom into Ernst now? Actually, maybe we could do Ernst today. There definitely was a, where's Ernst? Hang on. Province of Conrad. Conrad being the name of actually the prince. Gradzul, a duchy of Gradzul and Kioland. Okay. So that's over on the other side of the border. I wonder why you'd put a really big city right on the... Oh, Garrix. There it is. Province of Iderol. Okay. A couple trade routes, too. Ooh, the Bay of Iderol. Interesting. All right, we're going to put that there because that's what we're... And that lines up with this. You see? Okay. Now, if we move the thing, we will move... where it goes. We're going to check on Hardby. We're going to see what's what. We're going to see if there's any... maybe we should start with Ernst. Honestly, we should probably start with Ernst. And then go from there, maybe? Maybe that's a thing to do. Because Ernst is cool. Or we'll actually do Valuna and not just get suckered into... Or Kaoland. Why don't I... Okay. Why don't you guys, whoever's viewing... At him, by the way, why don't you guys view over that? I'm going to do a thing, this, and then come here. I have a intensive thingamabob that I'm working on, so you just gotta hang tight. Okay. Okay, then we do not deep space pollution. That's a different stream thing. That's completely more for Warhammer. Okay, we're going to go to here. There we go. And that, oh! It's Pi Day. Oh yeah, it's Pi Day. I forgot about that. Pi Day is tasty. So 3.14159, I believe, is yes, interested. Beautiful. Okay, so there's that. Now, So that's the port of Jax. Now, oh, so Jax is a port. Does it mention that it's a hang on, let's see what it says on the wiki page. We might have to do a thing. Hang on, we might have a first. I try not to tweak. Well, okay. Morning, Celine. Okay, we should probably mention that it's on the frickin' it probably should mention that it's on the coast in frickin' geography and climate. Let's see. Yeah, that should be mentioned. I mean, I feel like it's not that important, but it's definitely a major trading hub, as you can see from the map, because, oh, see, Anna does this really cool thing with the map. In fact, this is her map. It's the same one. Okay, it's a revised version. This is 2019, right? So hers, the one we're using is the 2020 map. So, but you see how these trade routes come in? If we go back a little bit and over to, because Anna has amazing maps, and so this is, oh, this is, even have sea depth, see? The sea, the sea is even color-coded to show depth. Secondary, travel, frontier, border, local, provincial, hot. National frontiers are always kind of wonky. Trails, borders, symbols, hex sizes, okay. Oh, wow, so they have a cool thing. Wow, okay. Okay, so the capitals, provincial center. Okay, let's check with markers. Sea lanes. There we go. I knew there was one. See? Minor sea lanes. Tradition routes for ships and trade and transport. You see? So if a bunch of them come into Jerax, then very clearly it's a trading center. Which means... Which means... we can do this. Let's go back to... Alright. We're doing live wiki editing, apparently. We'll go to Ernst eventually, promise. Let's lean. Ulix are south here. Okay, yep. Greyhawk. I always start with it, so I figure I should be under some obligation to make it a little better, right? Isn't that the theory of how that works? I mean, that's kind of why I'm edit the wiki at all, because I use it so much. I figure I should. This becomes live wiki editing, so that's fun. Okay. Let me tweak that real quick. I mean, we're not doing that much. I say that. I always say we're not going to do wiki editing, and then every freaking Monday I tweak at least one of freaking the geography and climate. Okay. Is a coastal city. I mean, it's obvious from the map, but okay. Also, how do you spell coast? All right, we're doing. I'm doing the spell check. This is coastal. Nope, that's not what I need. Coastal cities in the world. Okay. OASTAL. OAS, you see? This is what we do. OASTAL. OASTAL. Spelling is important. On the... What bay is it on? Bay of Adirol. That's the one thing about this font. It looks cool, but the D's are... It's a little... Adirol. Okay. Bay of... Roll with an E on the end, right? Yes, with an E on the end, and... What ocean is this? Azure Sea. Leading into the Azure Sea. Yep. Leading into the Azure Sea, and, Right. We're gonna describe the geography because this is important. Nope, not that one. Sorry. North, hang on. This is north, south, western side of a peninsula in the south of Uluk. Just to this, in the southern part of Uluk. Of the Principality of Uluk. Southern part of the Principality of Uluk. Good morning, Christoph. We are just doing a little bit of geographical tweak. Tweaking the geography. Blah. Yeah, geography is not our strong suit. But we are, western coast of a, let's see. Western coast. Yeah. So, basic tweak of, add a little more detail to Greyhawk. We're going to start with a little editing because, honestly, okay, make you link the, okay. If it comes up red, I'll put it in afterward. Being on the western coast of a peninsula, on to the south of the Principality of Ulux, of I think is Principality of Uluk named earlier? Yes, it's they got someone working on the geographical features. Okay. Okay. Uluk. Alright, if we got someone else working on geographical features, I'll leave it wiki links then. Leave it red then. I don't like leaving things red. Okay, I just don't like leaving things red because it makes me feel like there's some information that should be here that isn't. Here, well, and I could, at least add something, so, because we know a little bit, right? So I don't like leaving things red, because I feel like that's, if it's linked, it means that it should be a page. You know what I mean? Because someone thought, oh, this obviously is a page, and it's not. And because someone thinks it's obviously a page, then it should be a page, and I feel like I should at least try to throw some information so we can get a start to it. You know what I mean? Something to start with. To the south of Principality of Uluk, is a trading hub. Is a hub for sea trade. There we go. Oh, that's why. Wait a second. Hang on. Okay, first. Hang on. First. Nope. Save changes. I think that's how you spell Orth. Alright, we're double checking this. I know I'm not logged in. I realize that, but I can't. World of Greyhawk. Yep. Okay. It is Orth. Okay, just checking how to spell Orth because I don't want to misspell the planet. I spell it right, though, which means... Yep. Okay. Oh, Azure Sea is actually a thing. Excellent. Now we do the thing with the thing. There we go. Fine, I'll check this. There we go. Beautiful. Alright. Ta-da. Alright, now, I don't get credit for that, but that's okay. For sea trade, the province is, okay. The peninsula. Okay, that's an interesting question. Fed by the... Okay, let's see if we can't. Maybe we should mention the river? Adderall River, which runs through the province of the same name. Beautiful. Yeah, okay, that's how we'll do it. Because I feel like it's at least important at, let's see. Edit. Funny story, I typed up, well, not funny story, but interesting. I typed up coastal cities to try and make sure that I spelled coastal right because I felt like I was going to misspell it. And, Cape May came up. Actually, a lot of ones in New Jersey came up because the computer is like, they're in New Jersey. We'll supply all the cool ones in New Jersey and not any of the, other ones that are less relevant, apparently. But I know you're also in New Jersey, so, Alright, we don't want too many run-on sentences, so what we're going to do... We don't want too many run-on sentences. Yeah, let's see. Okay, no. Bay of Aradol, fed by, here we go, how fed by the river. The river Adderall. Okay. Okay, hang on. I feel like that because I feel like to the south of makes it sound like it's the city itself is south of, but it's not. It's in the Principality of Ulick. Okay. Yep. That's a little better. Okay, now we go, save changes. Boom. And Metropolis. And then that puts the River Adderall on our list of features, because it's actually... Well, let me look at the river real quick. I guess we're doing geography today. It goes up in... which flows... Okay, so the Conrad River. Courant River. And the Courant is, if I remember correctly... Let's see, Principality of Ulick. Courant is... Hi! Hello! Actually then. Hi! Welcome. My name is Lee. They, them vibes today, I don't even know. I'm actually wearing the non-binary flag, so, it's a thing. We are, I am a streamer, obviously. And every Monday, what I do is Greyhawk Day, which is where we go. It's called Good Morning Greyhawk. I do other stuff on other days of the week, but Monday mornings I do Greyhawk, and because Greyhawk is awesome and has a really cool community, and they kind of dragged me in, and Christoph being the key, our head librarian of this whole wiki, basically. I usually don't. I don't. I always do live wiki editing, but I didn't mean to start doing live wiki editing. It's just the wiki needs work, and but what we do is we go through the wiki, we go through, talk about how Greyhawk is, other cool stuff, edit when needed, generally just vibe, hang out, talk about Greyhawk. It's awesome. If you are into that, stay, welcome. If not, you don't have to stay, but I'd appreciate it. That's my main spiel. Right now we're doing Principality of Ulick, which is one of the 3 Ulick states. I don't know how much you know about Greyhawk. We had someone come into the stream once who had no idea about D&D, what D&D was. So, we're Principality of Ulick, which, Anna B. Myers, also, I should name drop her, because she's awesome, made this whole wonderful map of the Flyness, which is this part of the planet of Orth, where Greyhawk is, Greyhawk being the name for both the whole world and the city that's right about here-ish. Anyway, so yeah, that's where Greyhawk is, which is, and then if we go this way, we get Ulex and the Principality. I usually start with Gryrax, not because I have any affinity for it, it's a cool city, but because it is the page of the wiki that I bookmarked. So we start, go from there. But what I also need to do is go to the other in the back and get bring up something real quick. Anna B. Myers, yes. I need to. I don't need to, but sorry, Anna B. Meyer, who made this beautiful, amazing map. She deserves a shout out. I try to, shout her out as much as possible. She's a mainstay in the Greyhawk community and just does these maps for everyone to use, and I think she releases under Creative Commons license, so we can use them on the wiki and stuff, and it's awesome. Let's see. Boom. Okay, yes, Province of Deerfield. Huh. Okay, so what? Oh, right, I was actually doing wiki editing, and with the Principality of Ulick, but Korond. Korond is the Prince of... That's interesting. So, okay, you'd think... Now, here's turn out. You'd think that the capital of... Because, check this out. Korond is just to the north, right? Principality of Korond, yeah, Province of Korond is to the north of the Principality of Ulick, yep, and the province... And then the capital is... And yes, there is something to be said for having your capital be a major seaport, but... You don't necessarily need major sea trade to make capital. I mean, under that guise, New York or Baltimore would be capital of the United States, and we got, D.C. instead. So, you don't need to make your capital freaking coastal city. There's no, Havenhill is Dorvan. Okay, hang on. She's this handy dandy map, so I'm gonna check it out because frickin' maps are awesome. This map has, it's a Dorvan structure, so fortified settlements. Okay, so Haverhill is like a fortified city, a metropolis. Okay, yeah. So it's fortified, which is why it's got and then it's got the symbol in the middle, which, halfling Dorvan. Yeah, they have extra little symbols. Ooh. Oh, and these are bridges. Okay, that makes sense. So if we go back here, let me look. I guess we're doing Theocracy of the Pale. No, Ulick's over here. Ooh, Uluk borders the Pomarsh, which is not a good thing. So what? Oh yeah, so all of these up here are bridges, and oh, the county lines run. Hang on, the county lines run along bodies of water then to have bridges, and that's a Dorvan city, but it's fortified, a metropolis. So okay, and Dreki is also fortified, but a smaller city. Greyhawk is red, and it's a provincial seat. I think that's what that red out. I think there's a red outline there. Yeah, that means it's a provincial seat, which, and then Greyhawk has the darker red because it's the capital. And it's just, you'd think that the province named after the crown prince's family would have freaking, I don't know, the capital in it. But maybe that's just me. Hang on, that's the Principality of Uluk. And then Kornad. Is that? No, it doesn't show his coat of arms, so... Lord of the Peaks of Haven. Haven Hill, then that makes sense. Peaks of Haven. Okay. Corand. And then, of course, his uncle. Okay. Or Duke Vodran Corand. I actually don't know if it's his uncle. It just feels like an uncle-y kind of name, you know? But yeah, he's the crown prince. I knew the name sounded familiar. Corand. Okay. That makes sense. Peaks of Haven, and that is... Greyhawk Living Greyhawk Gazetter. Okay, cool. Haven. So if Haven is Haven Hill, would probably be an ancestral home. I don't know if that's his shield or not, though. Certainly is cool. But yeah, Haven Hill would probably be his ancestral home, which is probably why it's such a high metropolis. I think it's pretty much the only other metropolis in the country other than the capital. And then you got the frickin'... Okay, is Gradzul provincial or not? Oh no, it's a provincial capital of Keoland. Where's the capital of Keoland? Sorry, we're doing a geography crawl through Greyhawk today, I guess. If any of you, oh, actual Ethan. Okay, now I feel like an idiot. Actual Ethan. I feel like an idiot. I'm sorry. We are looking for the capital of Keoland. I mean, I guess I could just search it on the wiki, but... Wood Sage, no. Because it would be really... Maybe that's just me, but it would be... Oh. Nicole Nyoldra. Okay, why is all Keelan's best cities on the freaking border? That... With the freaking... I feel like having all of your your important cities on the border is a bad idea. Like, to put your capital smack on the border with another country is a questionable idea. But maybe that's just me. That's the duchy, and then you got the county in the middle. We did a whole thing on the Uliks at the very first, one of the very first streams for Good Morning Greyhawk was a Uliks. So, and then we were going to go into Selene and never... Well, we did kind of go into Selene, and then we just kind of bounced around from there. Let's see. There's the Sea of... Okay. I was gonna suggest Ernst. There might be something... I see. Right, so... let's see. Fair Kingdom of Selene. Valuna is on the other... Oh, yeah, there's this whole coast also that's not... That has its whole... Like, I think I had to make the wiki page of Cantona, and Lands of Cantona, I had to screenshot... I did Anna's map. Valuna, okay, so Valuna is up here. Valley of the Mage is somewhere around here. Iron Marsh. Geoff, it's near Geoff. I remember this. Valley of the Mage is here-ish. No, that's just more Geoff. Oh, Valley of the Mage. And I mixed it up with Valuna, which is the Vale of Luna, instead of the Vale of the Mage, which is up here. So, I freaking, okay. And, wow, the Valley of Mage has a lot of, okay, those are all just small towns. But it's got a lot of towns marked for such a small country. So, and then you got this river here. Yeah. Yevon River. Okay. Alright, sorry. And then Bissell, and you got Geoff to this. Okay. Ren Marsh, and then Geoff to the south, which we actually did, Vale of the Mage. So they just name all the towns, so you put them on the map because they're okay, that makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense. It's what you have data on that you can put on the map, right? And so small towns end up on the map. Alright, we are gonna, because I don't, okay. We're gonna, okay. Good to know, good to know. I was gonna, Greyhawk online. Okay. Alright. So the wiki's down. So, I'm gonna try something a little ridiculous. We're gonna do side research. No, you know, I'll let you see my work. Here we go. With an O. Hamlet with an O, not Hamlet with a, Village of Hamlet. Poorly mounted, badly equipped. Let's see. Hamlet takes up 3/4 of the module. Question is my own knowledge of Greyhawk is questionable at best. So you're gonna have to forgive me for not knowing something really basic. The thing about when I learned about Greyhawk is I learned piecemeal from being around all of the members of the Greyhawk community and doing wiki drives like this one, which is all well and good, but it does leave weird gaps in the knowledge of things that everyone knows that I somehow never do until I need to know them, and then everyone's surprised they don't know. I'm like, I started in the middle. So what we're gonna do, but my question on Hamlet was, okay, written up from the Wild Coast, which is, nope, that's Portage. Hang on, Wild Coast is, we're doing a little bit of a geography thing because the wiki's not working. If anyone wants to do something else, feel free to tell me. Like, that's why I have chat. Okay, here's that. The mountains. No, the Wild Coast is the coast of, here. The coast up here. Hardby. Okay. The reason I, Um, so yeah, we're doing a little bit of geography exploration on the map because the map's working and the wiki's not. So yeah, um, that's how we're gonna guess today's stream is gonna go. If anyone, Annabelle, yes. Thank you, Annabelle Myers, for making this. We get to have to act. I'm gonna pop her in again because. Oh no. Yes. Don't worry about crediting me with editing anything, okay? Ugh. Don't worry about that. But no, it's fine. I know the wiki's not a perfect piece of tech, and not even our head librarian knows everything that goes on, so I can understand that. We'll just do a pretty chill stream. I'm just sorry everyone else had to, the wiki. Well, those are big towns. We're looking for one very small town. Twofold is a bigger than usual town. Ogre's Blend. High and. Okay. Grastogrottle is a gnomish town. Okay. I feel like there needs to be more information on that. That's a whole. Okay, there's the Greyhawk Peninsula, the Cove, the Renee Camp. Interesting. Sword. Good to know. Good to know. Oh, the Landgrafdom of Celitan, because of the whole old history of the Gynarchy. Not in the Gynarchy. Okay, that makes sense. Pargender's Mine. That's a halfling mining camp. Okay. And Narwhal. Okay. Forgot that Narwhal counts as part of the freaking Wild Coast, because it's not on the coast, so you'd think. Verberbonk, here we go. I think. Halfling towns. Hamlet, there it is. I knew it. Hamlet is in Verberbonk. The Viscounty of Verberbonk, specifically. Interesting. Which is its own country, despite being called a Viscounty. Veldervea River, which. Oh, wait, is the southern border of. Gold County. What's the. Furundi, yeah. I remember this. Hang on. Verberbonk. Which river is this? Interesting. River. Okay. Hamlet. I was trying to figure out what, where Hamlet was, because Hamlet is so, key to the very fabric of what it means to be Greyhawk. In fact, fun story. When I first started, it's not even okay. So, Tolvar is the capital. Is Turville the capital? That's an interesting question because it's marked as a capital. Okay, that's a dangerous place. But so is Verberbonk, the city. Which is on the frickin' border. What is it with people putting their capitals on the border? That sounds like a very bad idea. Although it's also marked as Tulvara as a halfling village, so maybe it's a... Right? That's the halfling symbol. Give me a sec. Unless... We're going to check the symbology of the map. Because, let's do it. Oh no, that's not Gnome. Gnomish. Okay. I was misreading that whole thing. It's all gnomish villages. Okay, so is it the gnomish capital? Verberbonk sounds pretty cool. Okay, let's back over to the Verberbonk, which is... I use... Ekbir. That's where we started in Ekbir, the Caliphate of Ekbir. We started there and then traveled across all to find this. It was an adventure written by Carla, a very well-known writer in the Greyhawk community, published by tweaking. It was talked about the Clunish lands, which they meant the Baclunish people, but they couldn't say Baclunish because Baclunish is technically Greyhawk, which is owned by Wizards of the Coast, and he's publishing outside of Wizards of the Coast, so he just tweaks the names a little bit. Really? Someone else already freaking told me about mountviews.com, and I'm not going, but you're welcome to stay in the chat anyway. You are welcome to stay in the chat, even if you are a bot. I'm not gonna kick you out. If you're not gonna be, just being annoying is not enough to get kicked out of my chat. Okay, Free Lords of the Bandit Kingdoms. I am getting distracted and... Hi! Welcome to our, thingy. Oh, check this out. Flag colors. I have the NB flag on my binder that is showing because today is Gender Effort Day. But, welcome to our stream. The Greyhawk wiki apparently went kaput, and, I managed to save the changes we made to... Oh! Gryrax. We started out editing Gryrax because that's the one I always start with, and apparently it's actually quite a stub, and no one had thought to mention it was a coastal city, and it was very clear from the map that it was a coastal city, but I figured it should be written out in the wind. If there's going to have a section on geography, then you should at least mention that it's a coastal city. So I mentioned all of that, and then, okay, it's not kaput, it's having a mental breakdown over trying to understand something Christoph told it, and now he has to sweet talk it into being good again, basically. So, while our librarian is sweet-talking the wiki into not... Yeah, it's being feisty. Well, we all have those days, including wikis, I guess. So while the wiki is having one of its days, we are looking over the map and doing a geography tour of the... Oh, so I actually didn't know what country Hamlet was in, so I went and looked... Turns out Hamlet is in Verbebank, which... Come on, we know. We were just there. Hang on. The coast is on that part of the coast, and then Verbebank is up here, just north of Selene, and, okay, so Divers is up here, and it broke off from Greyhawk, so we know that. Then we got... Okay, there's a dragon controls that territory, so we don't go there. Then we got Verbebank. Tervert. Green. Ooh, hang on. That's interesting. Hang on. We are going back to our... So, Anna D. Myers, who I'm going to pull again because she's cool, is... I feel like I could do... if I was very clever, I could... Actually... Given that we're doing a map center focus of the show, what I could do is, province. Okay, yep, here we go. I just want to see Elven. Okay, so the tree. Oh, that's a tree. Okay, that's an Elven. So Tervert is an Elven city, right? So blue ones, blue rings mean they're free cities, independent of the country around them. Red is capital, lighter red is provincial center, and then the ones with the dot is like, it's, yellow means it's on the ground, blue is floating. I don't know what the difference between floating and aerial is. Dark blue is submerged, ruined, and then there's the underground is purple. Okay. And then the ones with, just rings but no colors are just big cities, but not, yeah, it just means that they're, small, oh, the ones around yellow are, oh, I see, there's a faint yellow ring, that's the one that's significant locally, and then if it has no ring, it's, other than the black one, it's just, regular, there's villages and Thorpe, which is like a settlement, like they have buildings, but it's less than 20 people, so it doesn't really count. Okay. That's a vibe. And then if it's a fort, I guess they would just make these... They'd be a square if it was just a fort, but if it's yeah. But if it's a settlement, a tiny, less than... Oh, Thorpe is... Oh, wow. Dwarf. Okay. It's even smaller than a Thorpe. Okay. Wow. You have to have at least 20 people to be a Thorpe. If you're smaller than that... I'm sure there's a historical precedent for the use of those words. I just have never heard them before, so... Okay, and I think if it's fortified, it's probably like a camp or a fort. If you've got that few people and it's fortified, it's a camp. It's not an actual village. These are only civilian... If you don't have at least 60 people and you're heavily fortified, it's a freaking army camp. At most. But what I was gonna say was Luna... No. We wanted up here, Verbabunk, which is over... Hang on. Free land of divers. The city... Oh, divers, so it's a free city, that's why it's blue. Okay, I see. Gotcha. And then we got Verbabunk over here, and then Terre Verte, which means green earth, which in French. Which means elves are French. Confirmed? But they have a tree as their logo, because, you know. Elves. Okay. But, so Tolvar is probably like the gnomish capital. That's why it's got red the way Verbabunk is. Which is freaking... Who puts their capital so close to the border? Like, why? I feel like it's a bad idea. Maybe that's just me. To put your capital so close to the border. And what's on the other side of it? What's on the other north of Verbabunk is... Well, Farundi. And Farundi is pretty chill. So maybe... There's probably a historical reason, actually, if you look into the history of Verbabunk and Farundi. That's what we were going to do. We are going to do a thingamabob. And I am going to... If I remember this correctly... Streamlabs... Login. Yes, I'm going to log in. Twitch, and we... Wait. Hang on. I am not going to do that just yet, because I think I did it. It wasn't Streamlabs when I... Maybe, was it Streamlabs? Okay, we are going to do a test. You ready? We're going to do a little bit of a test stream. We're testing new stuff. Well, some of them smells like fish, but that's okay, because I love my fishy babies, and I do not begrudge them smelling like fish, because they are fish. I you know, probably spilled fish food somewhere. Okay, yeah, my babies. They are live and flopping around. No, they're not flopping. What are they? What are you up to? Oh, yeah, they're vibing in the corner. They do that sometimes. It's a little ridiculous. Oh, yes. I have to figure out what bot I have. It is Streamlabs. Yes, it is Streamlabs because I put it in. Yes. This is why. Let me go to here. All of you admire how awesome... So it is Streamlabs. Okay. So... Okay. Here we go. Okay. Yes. Cloudbot. Commands. Okay, we're gonna add a command. Oh, I have 8 freaking... Okay, we'll leave those for now. Command is... Do we have a template? Shout out. We're gonna take that out. And we're gonna go Anna B Okay. Anna B. Myers. You know what? We're just going to do shout out Anna because... And then if we have another Anna, I'll change it. That's what we're going to do. If we end up with another Anna... Also, hi, new viewers. Welcome. Our stream has gotten a little complicated because the wiki, which we usually stream with, is being feisty, I think is how Sig put it. So we're just... we were going over Greyhawk geography, kind of looking at... admiring how awesome Anna's maps are. Anna B. Myers. And I'm working on creating a shout-out for Anna B. Myers because... current URL is... There we go. Anna B. Myers. Wait, hang on. Let me just make sure I spell... Oh, Meyer. Anna B. Meyer. You see, I always want to call her Anna B. Myers, but I know that's not her name. Her name's Anna B. Meyer, who is awesome. Confirm. Okay. So now we've done the thing. It should be able to do... Yes! Look at that. I can just... That way I don't have to keep constantly talking about how awesome Anna B... Well, I mean, I still want to talk about how awesome she is, but... Anna B. Meyer. But I made a little thing so I can just quickly put the link in chat and don't have to, like, go and search the link out every time I want to shout out how awesome she is. Basically. Yes, that's a thing. Oh, but we were... So, Verbabonk... I didn't know where Hamlet was. Confession. Fun stuff. Oh, also, for all the new viewers. Hi, my name is Lee. They Them Ish Vibes today. Here she is fine. Intro. Welcome to the stream. Nah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. We're doing, other cool stuff. We're learning stuff. It's, and now you know how to do and not do. And that's valuable information. Like, it's worth knowing that your wiki will have a meltdown if you use a particular extension, because then you know not to use it next time, when it's also an important, So, first thing Monday morning is probably the best time for it to go down, strategically, because people are probably more likely to be looking at stuff up on the weekends for game prep and stuff. So, but, and also Anna B. Meyer... The map is awesome, and we have a shout-out for Anna now. G.I. Joe. Well, it's important. Both are important. That is the key. So creators and coastal... Okay, hang on. Here we go. All right. Wait, hang on. What I need to do also is I need to create a shout out for the wiki. Is what I need to do when it's feeling better. No, I do. Hang on. It's important. Just hang on. We're gonna go to Gryrax, Old Faithful, to see how this goes. This is why I was editing Gryrax this morning. Which is let's see. Geography is still there. Excellent. The River Adderall and the Bay of Adderall, which apparently are on a list of geographical features, so don't have to make them. I freaking probably... I really don't like the red... But I'm gonna leave it. Population of... Okay. Sewell Iridians... Mostly hill dwarves, a little bit of mountain dwarves, halflings. Ooh! They have... 3% of elves, 2% gnomes, half elves, other. Okay. It's worth... Oh, that's Uluk. Okay, actually, it would be worth noting... Hang on, let's try... Bonk. Let's see. Okay. Let me check spelling on Verbabonk. This is where we check Verbobonk. This is why you check your spelling. And then you can go to Verbabonk. Ta-da! Here we go. Viscounty and town of Verbabonk. properly known as. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, it's an elven. The shield. Okay, so the shield has a tree on it, and we know that on Anna's map, elves equals trees, but trees does not necessarily equal I mean, just because it has a tree doesn't mean it's an elven. Earth and stone, man and gnome. Okay, so they have a high gnomish population. Semi-independent nation owing fealty to Voluna, but nearly autonomous in practice. Riverbank is the capital, which is the city of... Okay. 14 freeholds and fiefs, all under 500 square miles. Entire Viscounty is Bisfork under... Oh, St. Cuthbert, divided into 8 guardianships overseen by abbots. Okay, so it's got the whole... So it's got a bishop of St. Cuthbert, and then 8 abbots that are guardian... Okay. Some guardianships include more than one political fief. Okay. So it's got a whole St. Cuthbert-ish vibe. Copper gems timber. Cool. So modified Ferundi coins, because it's right next to Ferundi. Voluna. Okay, so Voluna... Alright, we're looking off... not Iridian. Elves... 9% elf. 5% gnomes, which is not a lot, but, like, a lot more than you'd think. A lot more than most other places, so... Halflings, 3% dwarves, half-orcs, okay. Common. It's less than 80% human, which is... Oh, wow, we are, like... Lots of viewers are coming in. Okay, hi, welcome new viewers. My name is Lee. Then I'm up today. Sure, he is fine. I'm pretty chill. This is the stream. This morning is Good Morning Greyhawk, which, oh, now that we have this working, what we need to do is go to the main page of the wiki, because main page of the wiki is awesome sauce. Very cool. So then we go here and do that. And then we go back to Verberbunk, because Verberbunk is cool as well. And then I go to Streamlabs, which I have open because we did the thing. We go here. Shout out template. Greyhawk. Check out the Greyhawk wiki over at Okay, so what we're gonna do is check out. Target name, which is all right, let's we'll start with that, and cool. Then we're gonna test it. Hi. I am not gonna answer that. Okay, instead I'm gonna show you how cool this Greyhawk, which isn't even spelled right, but that's a whole other thing. Christoph, our beautiful librarian, what do you think? Is this, cool, or is it, do you want me to edit it in any way? Because you are head librarian of the Greyhawk wiki, therefore, if it is not being, maybe they're playing Dungeons and Dragons is a little, actually, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do something in trick. Edit. They are collecting lore. Okay, confirm. No, hang on, wait. Mission. Everyone. Yeah, just everyone. That was, okay. Good. So it's got everyone, because anyone can... Shh. Check this out, though. I want... There we go. There, that's what I wanted to do. I think that would be cool. I made sure to give it everyone permission, because I want to make sure anyone can do that if they want to, you know. If anyone wants to, like, Popful. Alright. Fair. Okay. I didn't... let me try something. We're gonna go Verbabonk. Main page. Let me just do this. Yeah, that's why I got the main page on there, is because if you think it looks, I will do it the thing with the thing if it makes you happy. But we're also gonna go back to Verbabonk so you guys look at Verbabonk while I do this. Okay, you know what? Let's do random page. Let's just do something really random. Okay. Flames of the Falcon is a module. And we are not clicking that. I'm better off than that. But, aw. Yeah, aw. Thanks. I appreciate that. We're just gonna do one last little, fix then. I'm gonna do this. Out of space, just to make sure. Fine. Alright, now we just have to test it. Last one. Aw. I appreciate it. Ulrich is awesome. Okay. Hi! Welcome, new friend. My name is Lee. They them vibes today. He or she is fine. I'm pretty, chill. We're just testing a new shout-out for the Greyhawk wiki, which... if you see on the screen, I clicked random page and it took me to this one, and I don't know what the deal with it is. So what we're gonna do, and it doesn't have any links, so let's go with Verbabonk, because that's where we were before. We were on the page about Verbabonk, and I do live wiki crawls talking about how cool Greyhawk is on Mondays. On other days of the week, I do other stuff, Warhammer 40k. Sometimes I do this really cool module by Matt Kneisel. Sometimes on Sundays. On Wednesdays, I do my own homebrew world. But in any case, you know, Mondays we do Greyhawk Day, and so today's Greyhawk Day, and we're going through the Greyhawk wiki. I was editing it, and it decided to not like me, and Christoph fixed it for us. So, yeah, absolutely. Greyhawk Wiki is really cool and worth checking out. Also, another, oh, you're new to the... This is awesome sauce. Okay, welcome. Sorry. I'm really excited. I love when new people play. So, Greyhawk. A quick dissection of Greyhawk. Of all of the settings, Greyhawk is one of the oldest. I think it's slightly older than Forgotten Realms. Okay, very cool. So, Greyhawk, note about settings and D&D, because this is really cool. I love new people coming in to the... Oh, Elric, hi, you are here. Hello, welcome. We always love new people coming in to learning about D&D. So, D&D is not necessarily linked to one setting. The one setting we're using is called Greyhawk. It's actually a planet called Orth. So, let's see. Actually, this is a map that Anna B. Myers made that I'll actually link the map, because I think I linked her Patreon because she is the coolest, and, you know, but this is a map of a planet called Orth. So in the beginning, when Gary Gygax first created the game, he created it here. he started with, I mean, if I zoom in, Castle Greyhawk, which is right about here. And then the Free City of Greyhawk and all of this area. And then he kind of spread outward and created the whole Flyness, which is this region in the middle of the planet. And there's other parts of the planet as well. I think, if I know correctly, let me see, I might have a whole map of, maybe not. Imperium map, Old Flyness. Oh, that's just an historical map of the area. I think Christoph might have given us. Creativity is a huge thing. So basically, Greyhawk is this setting. Now, Wizards of the Coast, who make D&D, don't do a lot of Greyhawk anymore. They have one module, Ghosts of Saltmarsh. Fair enough. Ghosts of Saltmarsh, which is set in, I believe, it's set in Greyhawk. Believe it's, I want to say it's Grandmarsh, but I don't, we're gonna do a real quick little bit of research. But most other ones take place in what's called the Forgotten Realms, which is Faerun, the planet called Faerun, which is also in a completely different setting, which is also super cool within its own right. And there's a bunch of others, such as Exandria, which was created by Matthew Mercer. There's Dark Sun, which is super cool. Apocalypse, which is one of the old ones that they're not using anymore. They have Spelljammer, which is also an old one they're not using anymore, but is super cool. And then, of course, every freaking DM creates their own unique spin on things. There's Galorion, which was created by Pathfinder, but Pathfinder was created based on D&D when they took the game in a different direction that certain people didn't like. They decided, hey, we'll just create our own copy of an older version of D&D, which is why Pathfinder, but they made the setting of Galorion, which is really cool, and some people took Galorion and played D&D rules in Galorion. So that's a thing. And then, of course, every DM creates multitudes of homebrew settings. So when you start a game, your first option is, okay, fair enough. It's more Remembered Realms than Forgotten Realms. Although, to be fair, Remembered Realms is mostly just the Sword Coast. The rest of the frickin' Faerun is just forgotten. So, there is that as well. I, for example, like to use my own setting. I play both Pathfinder and 5th edition rules in, it's near the coast, nestled on the coast of the Azure Sea is Saltmarsh. Okay. We're gonna find it on the map. Awesome Sauce. Yeah, so that's, yeah, so, yeah. So my first campaign was a homebrew one too. That's where I started my, my setting. And, so I didn't get into a lot of setting lore, although I did end up using the Galorion gods because I was, oh, hi, thank you. I appreciate the follow. Oh, by the way, for everyone, who's new, which seems to be a lot of you, let me show you, I should probably, I will give you this. It is my personal Discord, which is kind of a fun little, we're working on making it cooler. At the very least, I post fun memes. I try to get at least a couple fun memes per day. I try to post other stuff too, but sometimes that doesn't always work, but we always have at least a couple fun memes. So, you know, and we talk about creative stuff and world building, which is one of my favorite things in the whole world, which is why I started Homebrew. But I ended up using the Galorion gods because it started as a Pathfinder campaign and then ended up becoming a handful of 5th edition campaigns that are technically co-linked, which is, you know, so, but yeah. Point on all of this. So my point is Greyhawk is the first world and the setting is really cool. And you can always take bits and bobs of Greyhawk. I had someone who took Hardbee and set it on a random planet that we found when we were traveling through space in a Traveler campaign because reasons. And so we went to see the Despotrix, and then we ended up there in another campaign I was playing with the same DM who was then a player, and he was like, oh, yeah, I remember you would have seen this in this campaign. I'm like, oh, that was Hardbee. So yeah, people, you can just pull bits and bobs of other planet. Like I took the Pantheon from Galorion and tweaked it for my own homebrew campaign. People, but Greyhawk is really cool, and the amount of detail and world building that both Gary Gygax and all of the people since, the freaking Jay and Altamira, which is on Anna's official map, and Anna, who did all of the maps, by picking through all the modules and working together to put them into one thing, and just everyone just building on it together and creating stuff that then went back into canon is incredible. The Living Greyhawk campaigns, the amount of energy in the community around Greyhawk is unmatched, which is why I ended up devoting 1 day a week streaming to entirely Greyhawk, and I always end up live editing the Wikipedia page, the Greyhawk wiki, which is, although we didn't do much editing of it today, we only did like a couple tweaks for, but Azure Sea, Ghost of Saltmarsh. Okay, so, probably Sea Princes. Portali, Mormung, Saltmarsh is probably along, so I'm looking along the coast of the Azure Sea, which is up here, although it has more than one coast, but, Gradzul, that's the freaking, why do you always put it on your freaking, yeah, so, is this Pormage? Yeah, this is the Pormage, probably not Pormage, so, okay, that's the Sea of Girn, so, it's not this way, okay. Berghoff. Oh, right, Berghoff is its own. Port Elizabeth down here in this area of the forts. Fort Blackwell. Okay, yeah. I believe Fort Blackwell is part of that whole I remember because I actually played a campaign in Fort Blackwell for Virtual Greyhawk Con with Guild Superior's DM Dave, which was actually really cool. I think they're Superior Adventuring Guild now. But yeah, this whole part of the Amidio jungle is whole, yeah. But in any case, I'm trying to figure out where Saltmarsh is on the map, but the Iron Gate, interesting. But in any case, there's a lot to Greyhawk, to the setting, which is, Greyhawk is a whole in and of itself. The politics of Greyhawk, of course, is the most well-known of any of it, and then you got kind of branching out. Verbabunk is mostly well-known because, Archcleracy, right, that's why it's got a bishop. So Valuna is technically a theocracy. That's why Southwest, Keeland in the Hool Marsh. Okay, so Keeland, Hool Marsh. Oh, thank you. See, this is why Keeland is up. So Keeland being here, border of Keeland in the Hool Marsh. Oh, I see. Okay. Hool Marsh Protectorate. Oh, I see. So down here. Oh, Salt Marsh. It is marked on the map. There we go. Right down here. Okay, I see where it is. What's this? Hang on. That symbol. I have to figure out what that symbol is. But, because Anna B. Myers made this entirely beautiful map and came up with a lot of symbols that I don't always remember the symbols. And that's why I gave her a shout out, because Mines, Oasis, Shipwreck. Humanoid. Oh, so orcs or goblins or anything like that. Good to know. There's some interesting ones. Okay. That's probably... well, that would be hard to think because the lore started in 1980 with Gary Gygax, and there's so many different people. For example, I want to, let's see, if I can find Altamira. So there's a city called Altamira, which is Free City of Altamira, which is Greyhawk area. It's not official canon as of... but it was created by Altamira. I think it was on the coast here. But near Divers, right? Yeah, but Jay himself has had a game, one of our, Jay, you could ask Anna also. She, so one of our, Anna B. Myers is a regular guest. So one of the foremost in the, oh, Christoph, should I put the Greyhawk wiki? Would that be okay if I put the link to the Greyhawk wiki in the chat? There's a whole Wikipedia, not Greyhawk wiki, sorry, I mean the Greyhawk Discord. There's a whole Discord chat full of people who talk about Greyhawk a lot and also pop in and say hi to each other, and it's a fun place to hang out. But yeah, in terms of Narwhal, in terms of creation of stuff like Altamira, if it's okay with you, but what I was, I had a whole, I was getting sidetracked. I get very sidetracked very easily. That's one thing if you learn, if you watch the streams regularly, is that I get very sidetracked very easily. But, Nighthawk Wiki. Cool. Hey! Oh, good. I'm glad it's all better now. Okay, boost the server. This one. And I'll put a only 7 days link. Because Greyhawk Wiki is really cool. A Greyhawk Discord, which I keep... the Greyhawk Wiki is also really cool, but I keep mixing up the Greyhawk Discord and the Greyhawk Wiki, which, because the Greyhawk Discord, we discuss the Greyhawk Wiki a lot. That is how... and it's a great community full of people. But, what I was... yeah, every community is full of people. Full of really cool D&D nerds who have been playing for years and know what they're talking about. And so, like, if you ever have a question about, like, well, how would you rule this as a DM? You can ask on the Greyhawk Wiki, or the Greyhawk Discord. And someone will answer, because we are a community of awesome people who care about the game. But a lot of old school players have been playing since the 80s. What I wanted to also link was Lord Gazumba. I need to make more shoutouts now that I know I can do it. But, boom. And, yeah, sorry. I'm just excited. Like, it's not often that you get to, find new people. It's, so Lord Gazumba is a streamer. He's been playing the same the same D&D game for 40 years. The same setting, and he's tweaked the setting of Greyhawk into what's called Jayhawk, which is mostly just Greyhawk, but everything in his campaigns set up, 40 years. I think it's been 40 years-ish, give or take a bit. But yeah, and they've had different characters come and go and stuff, but the stuff like Altamira, stuff like stuff their characters did to Found Thieves Guild, stuff like all of that. All of that is, and he streams every, let's see, he also does a lot of talk, like, a lot of stuff like this, just cooler, because he, Um, yeah, basically, yeah. And he brings in new people occasionally. But I mostly became part of Greyhawk because of Jay, and his. It started with, and then I got the link for the Discord from Jay, and then, no, but it's the same. It's the same Greyhawk, and it's a continuous setting. So anything the parties do has lasting consequences for future parties who play in the same setting, kind of, which is why it's called Jayhawk. He's kind of been running that, but he's, yeah. But so we have, when you say how many hours of lore, how many hours have gone into this lore, start with 40 years, which, let me see if Altamira, see if I can find it, oh, it's okay, so it's near the Sus Forest, which is a really funly named forest. Yeah, so there's a city in, if I can find it, let's see, it's Ulek, and the Sus Forest is in Silverwood, Axewood, Ulek, the forest is, yeah, it's, oh, Altamira, right here. So this particular city, was not necessarily canon, but it was created by Jay, and Anna and Jay are very good friends, and she actually goes on his show to do, explanations of how the maps work quite frequently. He does, and so she put Altamira on the map when she was making it, because she also put, something else that's not, canon, if I remember correctly, when I was looking into it, because I was curious. There's, where is it? On the bottom of the dry steppes. The Sultanate of Erir was part of an adventure that was not specifically set in Greyhawk, but was, okay, fair, it's fanon, but yes, okay, fair. Sultanate of Erir is the same way. It was basically mentioned in a module that wasn't officially set in Greyhawk, but it had a lot of was thematically linked to a lot of the old Bakloonish stuff. So she felt it had a place on the map, and I agree. So yeah, it's fanon essentially, but Jay's such a big part of the community that they put Altamira on the map. When Anna made the map, she actually, if you want to hear Anna B. Meyer talk about the map, the process of mapping, I think she's on, Lord Gazumba is the way to do it, because he hosts her pretty much all the time, during his, Gavin shows, and sometimes they have specific map-heavy ones. Another great resource. But yeah, people have been using Greyhawk for years, and Living Greyhawk was a whole series of campaigns that officially got declared canon, that were held back in the early 2000s, I want to say, which seems like it was actually quite a while ago. I think it ended in 2008, yeah, early 2000s, which in my mind is freaking very recent, but actually was, I don't know, 20 years ago. It's a lot. I'm not exactly old, but I'm getting there, and so when I think early 2000s, I think, oh, that was just a few years ago. No, it's freaking 15 years ago. But it's been defunct for over 10 years, but they did a lot of campaigns. They moved the map forward. People, talked about it. So it's 2008 was, okay, fair enough. So it was fairly recent. Yeah. Yeah. But Oh yeah, the 90s were 10 years ago. Sure. Okay. What was I gonna say? Oh yes. But in the yeah, but the Living Greyhawk campaign, there was Living Greyhawk Gazetters, there's so much lore and people who poured hours into this, creating all of this amazing Greyhawk lore. And Greyhawk is only one setting, for D&D, but it's one of the oldest and most well loved by people, because it's a lot of people started out in Hamlet. That was where most people started. Hamlet being on the map, this one town, it's actually a fairly larger town, in Verbebank, Luna, which I didn't know it was in Verbebank until just now because but Verbebank's over here, and Hamlet is this town right here, Hamlet. So many people started out in Hamlet because it was the beginning. And Blue Box RPG, another really great Greyhawk streamer, who also streams in D&D set in Galorion, and does Lore Masters Arcanum, which is a really cool. But he, the first Greyhawk campaign I ever saw was his campaign, because a friend of mine who had DM'd for me in the Forgotten Realms game, Rory, was one of his players. So I agreed to start watching, and then I got sucked into that, and then ended up watching Jay, and then ended up on the wiki, and then ended up on the Discord, and then ended up editing the wiki on Monday mornings, because, that's what you do. How it goes. You get sucked in because the people are so great, and the creativity and the amazingness is so cool. So, for example, an interesting side note, part of Blue Box's thing was that he created this, I guess it was a role play outside of an outside version, a role play that was based on the campaign. So when he had his players running around, sometimes he'd have on their Discord, basically shopkeepers. So because it was a streamed game, and the players would interact in chat between sessions. I have a lot of DMs do that, actually, have a Discord chat where the player characters can talk between sessions, and it's actually really cool. But he invited a few people from the chat to be part of that, and I was one of them. So I actually essentially created a shopkeeper in Hamlet called Hannah, who was the first character I ever made who started in Greyhawk, because that was a shopkeeper in Hamlet called Hannah, who ran a clothing shop and had a family in the Free City. And actually I created that too, and I actually asked Jay live on stream who the head of the Tailor Guild in Greyhawk was, because I needed it for Hannah's backstory, because reasons. But yeah, he actually looked it up for me live on stream, which I really appreciate, because Jay's awesome like that. But my point, oh no, RP is amazing. RP is great. Go for it, because that's now there are arguments about D&D and what the best system is for RP as opposed to mechanics-based play. But yeah, no, RP is great. And I've talked to a lot of people who said they feel more confident. Well, maybe not a lot of people, but one of the kids I play with, he said he felt more confident chatting in RPing in the Discord chat after session than bursting in an RP during the session. So it helped him develop his character in a non-mechanics based way. Yeah, pretty much. Like, you could argue it's a strategy game, but it's the RP is the only thing, separating it. The way people make choices, and both in combat and out of combat, is what separates D&D from basically just a novel. Is that you can role play, between the characters, the way, and the choices you make shape the game. That's how it goes. And when, yeah, pretty much, this is why we do. But RP is awesome. Yeah, I heard that 4E had a very rigid set of mechanics that didn't allow for a lot of flexibility with RP, which was kind of the opposite of, or 3.5 had a huge, broad, sprawling set of mechanics that a lot of stuff, but it allowed for, there was pretty much a RP, like a specific rule for anything a player might want to do, which made it clunky and hard to play, but also allowed for better RP because you could say, well, my character has this skill because of this, and you could kind of build on it. Whereas, and you were better or worse at different skills rather than freaking 5th edition, which is just you're proficient or you're not proficient or sometimes doubled. I have an issue with 5th edition. I started with Pathfinder, which is okay, basic history. Started with AD&D, then they released 2nd edition, and then 3rd edition. 3.5 was a sweet spot. A lot of people really liked it. Then they released 4th edition and kind of took a left turn in terms of what the game was and the mechanics of it. And a lot of people really didn't like that. What class is it? Out of curiosity. Because, I know you're kind of excited about, what class. But, yeah, so when you, and then 4th edition, a lot of people stopped playing, or they started playing Pathfinder instead, which was just very, very similar to 3.5, just a few tweaks here and there, and then they filed off all the names and changed it. Yeah. Well, I think it was a very small, a subsection of the community that didn't, yeah, there are people who actually like 4th edition. I respect their right to be wrong, but I'm not gonna argue with that. Like, they're playing, let them play. But, a rogue archetype. Fun. Ooh, hi! New friend. Thank you, Arcalis, for following. You can say hi in the chat. I don't bite, I swear. Yeah. So then they started out with 5th edition, and, a lot of the old players were hesitant about it, but it works. It's closer to what it was in 3.5, just slimmed down and simplified. But I think 5th edition was what 4th edition was trying to be and failed at. So 5th edition was interesting, and is currently the most well played. And sorry, it's an important part because I grew up right when exactly. I grew up, or I started, I should say grew up. I was in college when that 4th edition thing happened, and I ended up playing Pathfinder instead, because that's what a lot of the people I was with were like, hey, let's play Pathfinder, and the people at the local gaming shop, which I don't have anymore, and I miss where I went to college because we had a local gaming shop, and it was so cool to just be able to go and hang out, and they also sold comics. It's maybe. If you want to get a better, there's people who do 4th edition horror stories. But my point is, we played Pathfinder instead. A lot of people did, and Pathfinder Paizo, they still put it out. They recently started 2nd edition Pathfinder, which is a completely, they tweaked the mechanics of that also, which actually works pretty well. But 5th edition came out, and a lot of people who were, not sold on that actually came to love it. A lot of new people came in. Yeah, but it's not, it didn't work for a roleplay game. Plus, there was a whole section that they never actually put out that was supposed to be, it was supposed to be integrated with tabletop and online, and they never integrated the online properly, and it kind of didn't work. But 5th edition is kind of awesome. It's, exactly, and they fixed it with 5th edition. Although, also, wow, we have a lot of viewers. I don't usually have this many. Hi, welcome, my name is Lee. They them vibes today. He or she's okay, I'm pretty chill. We were going about Greyhawk, And then I tried to give a little bit of the history of D&D, and then we ended up sidetracking because, um, yeah, exactly. It's a good teaching one. That's what Rory said. Because he started with 5th edition. He DM'd 5th edition, actually. For me, personally, he was my first DM in 5th edition, and I still owe him a lot for that. And then it, right after when quarantine started, when I hadn't played in ages because my people were in person. Exactly. I like Pathfinder. Personally, I like Pathfinder better, partly because I like it gives you better ability to customize your characters. You don't have to use the archetypes. You can just go tweak bits and pieces from all the different things when you create, if you go basic, which is I really like. And the feats system is so much better, and I don't like feats being optional. Okay, I could rail about making people choose ASIs versus feats. Like, you shouldn't have to make... Okay, I'm not going to rail about my problem with 5th edition. I love 5th edition. I run 5 5th edition games. But it's still... there are still things in Pathfinder that I miss. This is... when I do streams on Wednesday night, I do character creation. This is my copy of Pathfinder 1st edition rulebook. When I do Wednesday nights, I do character creation and world building based on the 1st edition rule set for my own personal world, which I do run 5e campaigns in. But we do character creation a la Pathfinder, and it's a lot of fun. If you ever want to stop by Wednesday, late night on Wednesday after work. Gotta keep an eye on the time. Well, okay, to be fair, mostly it's because Addie, she's a good girl, okay? She was less than a year old, and she was a puppy, and she's the goodest girl, and I love her awfully much, and I miss her because she lives with my parents now, and I can't have a dog because my roommate is highly asthmatic, and she has so much problems with lungs, I'm not adding any fur to the mix. So we have no fur, no feathers. We have 2 fish who live in the tank right over here behind me, or behind the camera, rather. And exactly. Yes. A lot of people in the Greyhawk community did start very early because, wow. Oh, wow. Wow, that is kind of awesome. That is kind of awesome, I'm not gonna lie. Wow. Yeah, I didn't start till I was in college, and I guess there was a D&D club in our high school who I think played 3rd edition, but I was in anime club, and they met at the same time, and all my friends were in anime club, so I didn't, that's why I went to anime club instead. That makes me sound like an incredible nerd. But I did miss out in high school and before then. Yeah, I run online games. So when the pandemic started, I hadn't, yeah, absolutely. You should come to the Sunday streams that, the lore book that I do on the Sunday streams is a setting called Genesis, which is very, very different from Greyhawk. Yeah, I run online campaigns because, I guess when the quarantine started, I was on a lot of, I was on an RP server, and someone on the RP server, they did a role play, and I was bored, and I was like, I haven't role played in ages, let's do it. So it was all RP, and then I think I followed someone on that who linked to Rory's campaign, which was looking for players, and I was like, okay, I can learn 5th edition, and the basic rule set was free, so I was like, all right, and I made a character, 5e Star Wars. Actually, if you want to do space, they have Fantasy Flight Games, I think, runs a Star Wars campaign, or rather, doesn't run a Star Wars makes. Fantasy Flight Games being a game company, they make a Star Wars role-playing game. They also used to do the Warhammer 40k role-playing games until 2017 when they lost the contract for it and the licensing rights. And apparently it was a very amicable split, but but they now Warhammer 40k has its own roleplay game, and I have not checked it out yet because I've been doing the old Fantasy Flight game stuff on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I do Warhammer 40k roleplay. But oh yes, there's a whole Star Wars 5th edition too. Okay, yes. So right, we are doing a D&D stream, a Greyhawk D&D stream specifically. We got sidetracked into, and if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat. I don't bite, I promise. Or if you just want to urge me to go back to Greyhawk. But my own point was I got suckered into playing in the Forgotten Realms, didn't realize I was in the Forgotten Realms, made a cleric of Sarenrae, which was a god in the Galorion setting, and my DM just ran with it, and now we have a freaking Temple of Sarenrae in the Forgotten Realms because reasons. It's actually really cool. Our DM was chill about it, and we just ran with it, and it was amazing. But that's how, through him, I found Blue Box, and through that I found Jay and Greyhawk, and became enamored with the setting, which is Greyhawk, which I will actually bring us back to Greyhawk. I am gonna do it. We are not that, I can keep on topic, I promise. But yeah, absolutely, Star Wars 5th edition is really cool. But yeah, this is the way the stream works. If you ever come to my streams, it's just me getting very distracted and ask here. Not quite. Hang on. Give me half a sec, though. I am curious. I am always curious about new settings, new things. Ooh. Sounds pretty cool. It's like fantasy novels, yeah? Hey, if you ever want to play, let me put the Discord link real quick. I know, I promised I'd go back to Greyhawk, but we're doing a thing. If you ever want to, nope, not that. Very cool. A lot of books make sense. A lot of stuff. When you run a campaign, a lot of stuff happens, and it does make good drama. You just have to kind of tweak the parts that, you have to tweak it down a little bit, but, and not just go word for word. But yeah, you can make very epic drama out of a D&D campaign. The Legend of Vox Machina was a comic series, and they made it into an animated series, and it's based on Critical Role, which was a RPG that played on stream. But 5th edition whole thing. But yeah, but Archelaus, if you ever want to be a player, send me a message on Discord. And is it any good? I really want to. I watched the first campaign, Critical Role. I did not watch this series, but I mean I know how it ends because I was, exactly. That's my rule as a DM, especially when I was first playing Pathfinder. I didn't know all the rules as well as I should, and I was the only thing I could do was like, and I had to GM for people who've never played before because that was the only way I'd get to play once I left University Town where it had a local gaming store. So it's like, all right, well, I'll run a game. I have a copy of the core rulebook. Let's do it. So I kind of made up a lot of stuff, but the rule is the one overarching guideline is you can fudge any rule you want as long as you apply it fairly to all the players and NPCs. Like, you can say, you know what? Animal handling is dumb. It should be only persuasion checks with animals. Only persuasion or bluff checks for, animals. And you just ditch animal handling. Okay, fair. And you can run that as long as you fairly apply it to all the players and rulers. Yes, but my point, that is, yeah, you can send me a message on Discord, and I can bring you into a campaign. Like, I run so many campaigns, pay to play, random ones. I run not non-pay to, like, I run a random newbie campaign on Sundays for the NB server because everyone on there was kind of interested in D&D, and I was the only person who'd ever had any practical experience running games. So we only have 2 players, but and we miss a lot of Sundays because, reasons, but we still play and it's still awesome. And although they're kind of yes, always play the cleric. I agree. My first ever player was a cleric, and I don't think I've played I've played so few 5th edition characters who don't have healing spells in some capacity. Like, yeah, no, it's true. Which is why DMs often end up as perma-DMs and just want to play so badly. Because this is our opportunity to do it. But, yeah. So I'm plotting, actually. But clerics are awesome. My first 5th edition character was a... Oh! True. Depends on the type of warlock. Celestial warlocks, yes, can do clerical healing, and it's kind of cool. The only warlock I ever played was a Phalok, who couldn't heal. His deal was, I think he sold Eternal Servitude to a Fae for a dick, basically, because it they do a lot of what was it? Oh yes, a lot of the newer ones, stuff like where you get paladins or divine. Yeah, a lot of the divine subclasses learn. No, he did. That was his thing. He was trans, and that was what he wanted. And I have another player who is essentially, she took Genie Lock and flavored it as, hey, I played a Dwarven rogue for my first real campaign was not a cleric. It was a Dwarven rogue. Her name was Alara. She sneak attacked with a small hammer. It was awesome. But she wielded her grandfather's warhammer, but she had a strength deficit because she was, small, and they kept pushing me to attack with the magic short sword because I could finesse it with my dex modifier. And I was like, no, I should use the hammer because she's a dwarf. And then I realized, hey, I can do a light hammer. And they're like, but it's not magic. I'm like, I don't care. It's a hammer, and she's a dwarf. She's gonna wield this hammer. And she wielded the hammer. It was kind of awesome. I'm not gonna lie. Dang. Oh, I'm sorry. Look, if you ever need, any, okay, this was, no, okay, my first 5th edition was my second 5th edition campaign. The first one was Cora, halfling healer. The second one was a Duragar, so she was pretty much a dwarf. The mountain dwarves having been extinct because it was a grimdark setting, so mountain dwarves had become extinct by, yes. Sometimes they get, it might be on my end. I am very jerky, and the way I talk, it's kind of the natural, my bit rate isn't great. Paying enough for the internet. Oh, good to know. Yeah, my bit rate is not great. I'm not gonna do mountviewers.com, but you're welcome in the chat. Yeah, the bots I'm just gonna let them sit there. It's fine. And I don't even know. I'm not gonna do it, but thanks for the offer. And welcome to the stream, by the way. Interesting. Good to know. But, alright. I never bother banning the ones that just wanted me to buy followers. Oh, yes, Greyhawk. I never bother banning the ones that wanted me to buy father. So, fun, dang. Yes. All right. Focus. I know. Back to the focus of Greyhawk. I'm actually planning a campaign, funny story, set in Hardby, which is, let's see, because this is one of the ones I'm planning, because Virtual Greyhawk Con is in October. fun fact, and it's actually really cool. So basically, Jay and a bunch of the others get together, and we all run Greyhawk. My first ever stream was for Virtual Greyhawk. Well, my first ever Greyhawk stream was for Virtual Greyhawk Con. I did a lore explanation of Rel Astra. During before, and then I got distracted by the Iridian migration and all of that, because that's a fascinating piece of Greyhawk history. But yeah, my first ever Greyhawk stream was a lore dive in Rel Astra. I was like, okay, I need to do more Greyhawk wiki, because Greyhawk's actually really interesting. And then it led to this. But Hardby being here, I'll bring it up on the here. So I'm planning a campaign set in Hardby. Nope. I am bad at spelling in every single language I've ever learned, so, gotta give me a whole... Yes, that one. Garnarchy. So it's actually quite interesting. So the Hardby, and, yeah, it's true. Fair enough. Yeah, I know. I know that I'm a little scatterbrained. That's how the streams always go, but we do get them back on track eventually. But yeah. Hardby is here. I think, yes, it is illustrated by Anna B. Myers. Okay, so this map is in 76 common year. Common year being common year. So common year started... When did common year... That's an interesting question. But okay, so they have a lot of ones which are negative, like negative 278 common year. This is... Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much a really good definition. Yeah. Pretty much. That's how it goes. Pretty much, I have a full party in my head. Yeah, you can... I said cheer her was fine. It's fine. What was I gonna say? Oh, yes. Boom, 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 boom. What was I... Oh, yes. So, Hardby. We were going here. Gynarchy. Actually, Norbellos was created on this stream. It didn't have a picture. It was a stub without a picture, and who was that? Christoph put the picture in, and I tweaked it a little bit. And it's definitely, yeah, but yeah, it was a stub before we actually edited it on stream, and this picture of Elena Norbellos, but Hardby. So it is a really cool city, and I'm setting, for Greyhawk Con, which is in October every year, Greyhawk, October of 2021 was when I started that stream. I was actually in 2 of the games as well. Let's see. I was in John's game, which was set in the Bacloonish area, and then I was in the one where we were fighting Fort Blackwell. Safe Town Wizard of Sewell Extraction, who established the town, was originally called Norb Harbor, as Gynarchy to be ruled by women, and the only ever one was Zagig. And Zagig, the first time I tried to do a stream on Hardby, we ended up getting into Zagig, and Zagig is interesting. I will just explain that. Oh, but the common year thing. So common year is a system of date keeping that's set up. So if it happened before that system, the year 1, because there is no year 0 common year, which is there's -1 and then there's 1, and that's it. But if it happened before then, it's listed as a negative. And so this is the population as of 591. So not a lot of people, but a ridiculously large portion of half-orcs. Only 72% human. That's that interesting. So there's a lot of the religious lore. Zagig being part of that, the religious lore, because he is actually a a lesser god. He started out ruling Hardby. While he was also in charge of Greyhawk. True. Year of our Lord. Yeah, that's true. Eastern portion of a deep port called Hard Bay. Which is just off Woolly Bay at the foothills of the Aboralis Hills. That's, if we look on the map, got a map. So the hills are Aboralis Mountains. Okay, yeah. So then the hills are kind of the one that come from there, and you got Hard Bay is this one this little one here, and then you got Woolly Bay, which is the greater one up here, and then and then you got Woolly Bay is this greater one. And you got, I don't know what's down there. That's interesting. Yeah, but Hard Bay is this little area up here where it's like the and actually Hard Bay comes from the early days of Hardby. Or Norb Harbor, rather, where there was a plague, and it was just a lot of... It's like the Cape of Good Hope, but named less ironically, where it's named because it was really difficult and ugly to deal with. It wasn't, in this case, not so much geographical as just luck, historical times and luck, but it got the name Hard Bay because of that, and then the town name Hardby. And there's actually a bunch of interesting... lore about these towns down here, and the reason I went to Hardby, so Virtual Greyhawk Con, there is a reasoning in my train of thought. Last year for Virtual Greyhawk Con, I was in 2 games and did my first ever Greyhawk stream, which was our last drop, which ended up getting destroyed by I got distracted by Iridian migration and that whole history, which is very interesting. But not the point. The point I was trying to make was, for this year for Virtual Greyhawk Con, the Hardby Marines, Mariners, not the Marines. The Marines are a whole separate thing. We're gonna have some fun with that. But point being, there's a huge tension in Hardby between on this map, which was from 576, the Gynaeke's Hardby is shown as its own country, and it usually is anyway. Even on newer maps. But in 582, I believe, which was Hardby. Let's see, history. 582, the Desator, yes. So the town has been ruled by the city of Greyhawk. So in 582, or just before 582, there was a series of wars called the Greyhawk Wars, which don't have a great Wikipedia page yet. They might be better this time, I don't know. But the Greyhawk Wars were a great push. Let's see if there's any... let's see if we can... hang on. Here we go. We're going through the whole timeline. We're going to find the Greyhawk Wars on here, and we're going to go right around 582, and I'm going to try to piece together the history a little bit. So, right around then, there was what's called the Greyhawk Wars, which is, let's see, 580. I think it was just before then. Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Pop in and out as you want. Next time I'm streaming is tomorrow. We're going to do afternoon tea, which is usually 11:30. Yeah, and we're going to do Warhammer 40k next time. But, absolutely. Bye. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, but my point on this was, for anyone else who needs a refresher, 582 was Greyhawk War. Let's see. Brief Crisis in Zaif. Let's see. Treacherous Apprentice. Mordenkainen. Ooh, okay, I feel like there's like lore here that I did not know about. Kremen the Mindbender. Greater... Okay. That needs to be Greater Boneheart. Okay. Swarthy, black-haired, thick, bushy brows, and cloonish features. Okay. Oh, also, hi, Solace. Welcome. to our stream. My name is Lee. He, they, more they, them vibes today. I'm kind of iffy on gender today. Yeah. I think I recognize the name. I think you're in some of the other Discord. I mean, probably I'm guessing the Greyhawk one, but I recognize the name as someone who's around in the community. So welcome to this channel in particular. Hi. Alright, well, welcome. Today we're doing Greyhawk. I do a lot of different stuff. Yeah, but today we're doing Greyhawk, and, Greyhawk, and we're in Kremen the Mindbender because we got rabbit holed. But we got, yeah, okay. See, I knew I recognized the name from somewhere, like Solace. Okay, I definitely have been in the same, you run in the same circles. So this is the first time you're here. Welcome. Yes, so he's, he has magical turban that offers, protection against malign mental effects. That's cool. Okay, magic turbans are cool. Alright? Breaking the wills of those under his charge and can produce mind blast effect, mimicking that of an illithid. Okay, cool. Ah, I see. Servant of Ayuz the Old, Kremen Mindbender is disliked immensely by his former mentor, Alhamed the Wise, also counts Mordenkainen among his enemies. Of the lesser Boneheart dislikes Diviner. Okay, I kind of want to know about the Bonehearts, because we're getting really sidetracked. But, Jumper and Null of the greater Boneheart. Let's see. Ally with one another out of fear of the Mindbender. Particular watch on Althea and Helga, who form another rival faction within the greater Boneheart, but when he distrusts and dislikes. Kremen the Mindbender has a dozen mid-level mages and over 40 lower-level ones scouring the Empire of Ayuz for promising peoples for Kremen to train and add to his growing army of subordinates. Ayuz has given him his approval of this. Okay. He's cool. Okay. We need to figure out what the heck greater Boneheart. Okay. Freaking. Okay. So, we should put that up here. Alright. Okay. Good to know. So, we're getting, we're doing this. Okay. Let's see. Nope. We didn't add in anything. We're doing, you know what? No, we're not, comprised of both the and okay. EA. Yeah. We're doing this. This is where we get live editing. Is the council of Ayuz. Yeah. Alright, so it's a stub, but hang on. So we're creating a stub, but it should have a stub, so we can. This is where you do it. You create a start. No, now we create this. We're doing live editing. It's okay. I just and I'm logged in, so you don't have to go back and do it. And never mind. Of priests of Ayus, as well as powerful evil mages. The most notable is, I believe, Kremen the... Okay, hang on. We're doing... Okay, hang on. Let me do a thing. Trader's Apprentice. Yeah, okay, I know we got distracted. Kerman. And that's why, Mindbender. Mindbender. Of the Greater Bone. Well, okay, but someone has to do this, and so now we're doing it. That's how the wiki, that's how I got started with the wiki editing, is because, well, someone probably should create this page, so we're creating this page now. Include, let's see. Who was this, ugly? Rival faction, Althea and Helga. Okay, we're putting them in as a reminder to somebody to, because they're in quotes on the other one, so technically, who form a faction. Jumper and Null, who actually... Okay. Alright. If there's important information... Wait, what? Okay. Alright. Priestly hierarchy. Okay. Destroyed the armies of Fernie during the Greyhawk War, which we agreed was a thing. Okay. Hey, oh, there's a Greyhawk Wars page. We, open that. Hang on. Okay, so it deserves, hang on. I mean, yeah, but it deserves its own page. I feel like it should have its own page, right? Because it's linked in that page as if it had its own page, right? So technically, it should... this is... and to think we all started with Hardby, and then we went here, and then actually, we could. That is a possibility. And no. The two most powerful priests. The factions of the priestly faction who form a faction together. The priestly portion. And who ally of fear of. I remember how to do this correctly. Now we're gonna have to make sure. Okay, we'll start with this. Because I bet there's all sorts of cool... Yeah, okay. I kind of would like more information about these guys, but we'll... You know. Alright. There. Okay, I promise I'm gonna stop doing the thing with the thing. I promise. We're gonna go back. We'll undo it. It's fine. Okay, the bibliography. Okay, yes. Oh, right. So, but the Greyhawk Wars, Red Death. Okay. Ooh. Principality of Red Hand. Ooh, okay. Sorry, I keep getting distracted by timelines are really distracting. Okay, and I was gonna kind of all right. Nyrond. Okay, Nyrond creates war in the Date Kingdom. Okay, Bandit Kingdoms. Okay, attacks the Golden League, naval battles. Okay. Ivid the Fifth. Ivid the Fifth was Ivid the Undying Great Kingdom, right? Ivid. Yes, Great Kingdom. Okay. He. Okay, makes sense. And then he got Relastra when it went. When that fell apart, he ended up in Relastra. Right. Golden League, and that's why the War of the Golden League. Okay. Wait. Okay, so that's the new. Okay, so the new. Okay, so the. Okay, so the. Hang on. Right. That's a completely different war. We're not talking about that. Sorry, I'm. Because there actually is a. Unhuman War, which is gray space. Right. Shield Lands. Horn Society. Right. So this was... Okay, so this is... Foreign Mercenaries. Okay, so... let's see. Anazander, which gives the group their name. Cities Militia. Assassination of the Circle of Eight. Right. So that... Right, that's when Vecna did Vecna stuff. Okay, so... Good to know. Summer year is particularly hot. Ooh, the last Kirin living to defend the... In the Flaness to defend the forest. Okay, hang on. We just did it. Hang on. I feel like... No, this is where it gets frustrating, because I would like to link that to the Kirin page that we made, because it was like a whole thing. Kirin was not a thing, and then I made it, but that proves that... Okay, yeah, no, we're gonna have to freaking... Okay. Alright, it's... Okay. Attempt to overthrow Bissell. Okay. Attack the Valley of the Mage. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, that is interesting, because the Valley of the Mage was freaking... Okay. Okay, they bended the Slave Lord reigns. Jamar... Ooh, wow. Okay, Fellowship of the Torch, Murder of... arrives in Safeton. Bokobob and... Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Maybe that wasn't the best way to do it. What we should have done was, Gyneceve, Hardbee, Narbelos. I think Greyhawk Wars. Yep. So what? 582 to 584. Okay, so I was just going a little precursor. Although, like the civil, so I don't know if you learned of this, but there's a war called the Mexican-American War in American history. What sorry, I'm getting super distracted. That served as a precursor to the Civil War and it's kind of folded in. So I feel like a lot of those wars probably folded into the Greyhawk Wars. And I feel like they were a huge thing and they don't have, but right, the Pormage, and then the Great Kingdom. Right. So because there was a lot of war with the Great Kingdom in the beginning of that. Oh yes, the final truce was brokered, but in 582, at the beginning of this whole war, that's when Hardbee and Greyhawk and a few others kind of banded together. And that's when Hardbee became a vassal state of Greyhawk, kinda. Which was because this map was in 576. This was pre that, which is why... Anyway, that was my point on all of that. Also, I have a doctor's appointment before work today. So I actually really do have to end the stream, and I really appreciate y'all hanging with me as long as you did. And through all of the shenanigans and that got looped around, we got off the topic of Greyhawk and then got back onto the topic of Greyhawk, which I really appreciate. Oh, so last wrap up. And okay, next week on Good Morning Greyhawk, we're going to do a more detailed look at the Greyhawk Wars. Actually, I think that would be a fun thing to do. So yeah, we'll do Greyhawk Wars, and but in the meantime, if any of you want to come to my Discord, it's a little fun shenanigans. We do fun stuff and have a good time, and I at the very least put fun memes up. I try to do more than that. It's a work in progress, but you're welcome to come and join. As more people join, we have more cool stuff going on, so it helps. Also, check this out. Ready? This is my really cool anchor necklace. I have the other one, but I can't find it right now. So it is by a company called Relentless Rebels. I realized it's a little out of although Hardbee, it's a naval city, a coastal city. But it's a really cool detail. It used to have a black chain. I swapped out the chain because you can just do that with these. I swapped out the black chain for another necklace and then put this on this one. And I kind of missed the black chain, but it's really cool. And they're I don't have sponsor yet. That might change. I might end up as a. I don't have sponsors as of yet, but I have these guys, and they made me brand ambassador, and they gave me, because they actually make really cool stuff, fun, nerdy vibe jewelry. Like they have, the jewelry has good vibes, and you can get 20%. You can get 20% off if you use my code. So if you are interested in cool jewelry that might, Viking themed stuff, they have a lot of fun stuff with a lot of vibes, good vibes. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, check it out. The shipping does take a long time to get to the US because freaking customs and Europe, But it does get here, and it's really cool. So, just be patient. And they, they're nice enough to make me brand ambassador and, support the stream, get the cool jewelry, and get 20% off. It's a win-win-win situation. I also have a Ko-Fi and other stuff, but, and bits or subs are always appreciated, but, I also don't worry about it if you can't. It's no big deal. And thank you all for watching. I really, really appreciate it. And we are ending the stream on that note. Let's see who we can raid, because I always try to raid. I usually raid Brush for Hire. So Brush for Hire is a painting thing, and he paints basically minis. And I know a lot of people who are into D&D and are also into minis. And I figure that's, yeah. So he's pretty chill. Does cool art. It's a fun little stream. Yeah, thanks for coming by. I really appreciate it. And, I always appreciate when you come to the streams. It makes it a lot more fun. You too. Have an awesome day, everyone. Okay, we're raiding Brush for Hire. If you guys want to come, give him some love and watch cool mini painting and they, good shenanigans. If any of you want to come, stop by, at least pop in to say hello. I'm sure to appreciate it, and, friend of the channel. So let's do it. And 2, 1. All right, off we trot. I do